So, here we are again. Time for tea talk. What are we talking about, Sarah?
Well, it's a review of our Wharram Percy walk.
Of course it is.
Which was mixing it up a bit for us, but...
And it was a few days ago.
Very enjoyable.
I had the time to...
Cheers. I'm ready for this brew.
Yeah, so it was after work on Friday, wasn't it?
It was. Was it about 3ish?
I was going to say after work, but we did actually get a flyer. Got a dart, as we say. But it is unusual for us, isn't it? But
And I think we were literally making hay while the sun was shining, weren't we? Because the weather forecast looked a bit poor for the weekend, so I thought, right, let's get out.
Ropey.
Yeah.
And we proved right anyway. Because we like to walk on a Saturday. Hard week at work. Walk on Saturday. You're still in the mode of getting up early, you know, which is early for us. We get up at 5:30, don't we? And then if you've got aching bones and muscles, you've got Saturday to recover before back at work on Monday. So anyway, it was Friday. It was after work. We'd finished for the week. Wharram Percy, which we've done, I'm going to say twice. Is it more than twice?
We went to visit it, literally, like an English Heritage site, didn't we? Parked in the car park, walked down
Oh, of course, yes.
and just went straight to the village and then straight back out again.
Yes.
Literally, probably.
So we were, like you say, a visiting Wharram Percy.
As an English Heritage visitor
Yes, of course.
attraction. And then we returned and we did a walk similar to the one that we planned to do on Friday, but ever so slightly different.
Yep. So parked up. It was, 3-4 cars there?
Yeah.
And a motorhome?
And people were leaving as well, so...
Yeah. Okay. I remember that, as I say, it's £2 to park, because you have to do it by text. And we went down, back down to the village. Incredibly windy, wasn't it? But you're on the road there.
And that road's narrow with sharp drop-off, so yeah, that was a tricky few hundred yards, probably half a mile really by the end of it. Yep,
sure. To the village, and then, as I say, it's all road until you get to the actual...
and the village is Wharram, the street.
Of course,
which
sorry.
Is just, obviously, it's not Wharram Percy.
But when you get to what we would class as the start of the off-road, you're at, is it Station House?
Yeah, Station House, and there's a station cottage as well there.
Which is on the dismantled...
Malton to Driffield line at that point.
Malton to Driffield line.
Yeah.
Right, okay, very good. I mean, I remember there that they've got signs that were in the old railway kind of style. There was a big sign, I don't know if you saw it, I don't know if I commented at the time, about please use sat-nav to park in the car park of Wharram Percy.
Oh, I saw them, and they'd put a postcode of the sat-nav.
So there must have been enough people.
And I suppose COVID as well, it looked...
It'll have been busy then,
yeah,
won't it?
People.
Which is fair enough, because there was only, it's a little end of a line. There's only three or four houses?
3 or 4 houses, and few. It was a sharp right, sharp left. It would have been it would have blocked, snagged, and obviously there's, they need access and everything.
So there was plenty of coal stores that reminded me of on the side of canals.
They were,
that looked ancient. So even from there, you could tell you were on a dismantled rail line, even if you didn't realise that, because it was straight and flat and still
what are these massive
ballast
structures? 3, and then they've been, we joked, and we turned into compost bins.
Yeah, but
the rotation, I think it was
fantastic.
But they were literally the size of a house, weren't they?
Yeah, no, it was very good, very good. So I was slightly disappointed that we couldn't see more of the chalk works.
The chalk work. So when we came for the walk, the second occasion we came to this point, they weren't quite as overgrown, were they? We did manage to get in and among right from pretty much from Station House.
Because I remember when we talked about the preview, I remember snagging my jacket.
Yeah, well, we then were looking for where it was a little bit trodden and you could see that folk had poked the way through. But I think we actually walked along it before from the lime kiln.
Oh, right. Okay.
As far, but you couldn't. You had to use
I
the
can't
railway
remember that.
line. But we dipped in a couple of times, didn't we?
Yeah, and what do we think that structure was? Do we think that was a
I
crusher?
think it was the crusher just because of the height, the
Yeah.
drop, and it did have a hopper in it, didn't it? But it
Yeah.
also had a natural spring running through it, which
Yeah.
is,
Well, we couldn't date it, could we?
the concrete
But,
was modern. But then if you think how they built skyscrapers, you know, it's
could have been from the
100 and odd
20s, 30s.
years ago. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Not so
But
bad.
it-
From there, it's only. So this was interesting because I remember making note of this. I think it's just 2 miles from the car park, doing the route we took to get to the beginning of the. How do you pronounce it?
the Burdale Tunnel.
Right.
I think it was a little bit more actually. When
Oh, was it?
We thought it was about 2.
And it was a bit over, was it?
Yeah, it was. It was going up 3.
And that's
by
the
time we
route
got
down
there,
from the car park.
which they mark as what 3/4 of a mile from
That's
the
right,
car
yeah.
park.
Yeah.
Well, you're going straight down, aren't you? But
But it must have warmed up. I mean, I know as we said it was windy because we stopped there to take a layer off, didn't we? And we saw that couple
so
that we'll talk about those later because they were borderline polite, not curt. They were
no, they were yeah.
not friendly.
They
let's say that.
acknowledged us at that point, didn't they? But they were, had their own agenda, and off they went. And fair enough, and that was.
Well, yeah.
We didn't remark.
No,
at the time.
at time, not at
No,
all.
it was just retrospectively. But as you say, we'll
Yes.
go on to that.
So
but
they
then
went into the.
They went into the English Heritage
Yeah.
bit that
As
is
did
where
which is worth
it was.
noting that is in daylight hours is open. It doesn't cost anything to park. Well, sorry, to enter.
You've parked.
You parked,
at the
like you
top,
say, for
you've made your
£2.
£2 donation.
But yeah, there's no lock or anything. It's just a simple gate straight
Yeah.
in.
But they do ask for you, just during daylight hours, which is fair enough because it's on a bank.
Yeah, they don't want
And they
anyone
don't
tripping
want
up and
people-
having an issue, do
No,
they?
not at all.
So we did read the signs out for the film, for the video. I had a good look round. We didn't actually go up onto the, I'll call it the north side, the high side, where there's basically just footings, isn't there?
Yeah, you see the earthworks of where the
Which
property
isn't-
is, which the archaeologists have revealed, and then they've put paving slabs in
Yeah,
and,
they
and
put
curb
paving
stones
edges. Yeah,
and stuff
absolutely.
like that, haven't they?
But we were interested in the farm, weren't we?
Which it appeared to be much more visible this time, didn't it?
yeah.
And laid out, and so yeah, we took an interest.
And I think it
in
was
that.
Transformation Farm, wasn't it?
Transformation farm, which at first we thought perhaps it was some kind of penitentiary,
Yeah.
but then I think it was to do with the type of agriculture that
Yeah.
they
'Cause they
turned
cleared-
it into.
They got rid of homesteads, didn't they, to make more farmland and things like
Yeah.
that. Which I suppose is
And-
always the way.
Turned some of the buyers into cottages, so it'd obviously become a different way of managing the farming in the area. But interesting, couldn't go into any of
No.
that farmstead building, could you? But you could see what had
You
been
could go
going
into
on
the,
around
to the
an
yard.
enclosure.
Yeah.
Almost like a steading, I would imagine it would have
Yeah.
been when it was actually there.
And we mentioned on the preview about the church. And this time we were very lucky because all the works they were doing are finished. So we could go in to church. Now it's got no roof, of course, has it?
Not on the main.
Not on the
bit of
main
it.
part, of
Yeah.
course. But we read everything there was there, and to see, I think I can remember 6 or 7 different phases from it being a real medieval, first build kind of place of worship.
Yes.
And I thought it was interesting how it had grown to its biggest, but then had been, shrunk down again
Yeah.
because they
As
knocked it down to use for stone.
population
And, yeah, absolutely.
and popularity of religion waxed and waned. And didn't they say that it was its most prevalent around the time of William the Conqueror, so around 1066. It showed with it had that lovely Romanesque sort of
Yeah.
bay on it, but yeah, it's amazing, isn't it? And you could, when you stand back from it, you can see where they've filled in the arches that went into those little ante-chapels. Obviously, they all got knocked down
Yeah.
on that side of the building and used for.
You could see half a tower, not half a tower how people might think, as in halfway up and then.
Vertically,
Yeah, no,
but
it
it
was
brings sort of
sliced top to bottom.
Yeah, it had, yeah.
And the other thing that struck me was obviously those gravestones.
That were used in the structure.
Yeah.
Which were probably, I don't know if it was from Saxon, but they looked very early medieval.
Yeah, absolutely.
They weren't into the Middle Ages, the carvings on them. But no, it was super. So we went in one door, didn't we?
Yeah.
Tried to exit the other and?
Couldn't actually get out. No?
We got out, but we couldn't close
Sorry.
the door. It wouldn't latch, would it? So
No,
we went back
it.
and said, well, we're meant to.
Meant to go out the same door we came in.
Superstition about going in and out the same door, don't I? Well, it forced us to go in and out the same door.
Very
no,
good.
it was totally different for me, a different experience. It was she had a whole new. You need to go back to these places. They do still evolve, don't they? Because they're working on them, they're preserving them. No, it was,
one thing we ever said is it was incredibly quiet, wasn't it? We saw 2 dog walkers
coming out. And then did we have the place to ourselves?
Yeah, I would have said so.
But last time we were there, were people picnicking everywhere, children ball games. So it is literally
which took the edge off it, the kind of place it is. Because I don't know if it's solemn. I don't know if that's the thing I would say it is. But
if I were to it has a minor key to it for me. It seems almost solemn because I suppose because it is deserted and you can feel the life that was there, and then that's all just gone. And we hadn't read the information boards before, had we? But because the landowner wanted the land, to change agriculture, and it's like, yeah, crikey, that whole way of life for many generations wiped out.
Sort of overnight.
Yeah.
Because one day he'll have said that's fine, the next day change the line you're going. But anyway, there's a lovely mill pond.
There is.
That was obviously used for working to drive the mills. Yeah. Which was great. But that's the end. You literally go in one end of the village, walk through, and this is along the footpath, isn't it? It's the footpath that you're walking on that goes through the village. And by then you exit, and what path are we on when you actually exit then?
Then you go up and join the Yorkshire Wolds Way, and after a little bit of a climb, you're treated to that beautiful view of Deepdale, and we saw the cattle all sitting down, lovely, enjoying that sunshine in the valley
late
bottom.
Afternoon. But again, incredibly windy up there. Yeah, really windy.
It was, yeah.
But we knew that pit, and we carry on through, and then you joined again, what's the other, is it Centenary Way?
Is it back on that again? So we were on that last week as well.
Yeah, is it? So, and then from there, we picked out somewhere, and again, we'll have to look at our OS, because on a walk that or on some notes that we'd got, and a print out of an OS map, it showed some fairy stones, didn't it?
It said Fairy Dale and Fairy Stones.
So we thought we'd go and have a look at that, which was slightly off the path.
It was, we were supposed to turn left back down, and that was taking you away.
But not far, was it? But it was close enough to go and have a look, but it was completely overgrown, wasn't it?
It was obviously a fallow field this year, wasn't it? So it was...
But we've made a promise to go and look at it in the winter. We had a little detour to look at the second air shaft
of the Birdale Tunnel.
Of the Birdale Tunnel. So how long is that Birdale Tunnel bit?
I don't know, what would you say? Yeah, probably.
A mile?
Through that.
So you can see why there was the vents. But again, I thought it was interesting how, because we didn't go and try and see the entrance
or portal.
The portal, the chimney top. Or whatever you want to call it.
Which was down the hill a bit, and we didn't actually fancy that.
Yeah,
it was a 16% hill, wasn't it?
But it wasn't actually fenced off or anything, was it? So there must be a grate or a covering over it, or filled it in. Yeah, there must be.
Yeah. Well, there was on the other one, on the other side. So
because it would be too dangerous. But anyway, we might go and have a look again. And you mentioned that 16% sign. I thought it was funny how someone had a good old shot at that with a shotgun at a pretty close range.
Well, the aperture of the...
Oh, yeah.
What was it? 5 centimetres?
Yeah. But it was through. It was a good shot right through the middle of it. But anyway, we'll go and see the fairy stones another time. And then from there, it's about, again, another, well, it can't be half a mile, can it?
Probably
Back to the car park.
Again, along the road, quiet road. It got windy again because you've got a little bit of height.
Yeah.
But you're treated once more to the spectacular 360
yeah, no,
views.
absolutely fantastic.
I think, did we spot raspberry topping?
I think so.
I think we did.
Yeah.
I haven't checked that's what it was, but it was a little hazy in the distance, so it was tricky to actually pick them out. But yeah, all the way across the world, super. I mean, they really picked a spot to build that village.
No, they knew what they were doing, but you can't see it at all.
You can't
from the road.
No, and it's in that lovely valley that just takes it out of the wind, and yeah, perfect. So all in all, it was. I think we were pretty true to what we wanted to do, and the extra add-on.
Have a bit more
tea vicar.
Yeah, please. Yeah. Then I thought when we got towards the car park, of course, we saw there was obviously our car, and there was the motorhome. I think there was one other, wasn't there? But interesting as we were getting bits of kit off and everything, the couple that we'd seen at the entrance to the Birdale Tunnel was coming back, and they were clearly going to the motorhome. And did you instantly realise that's who they were?
From the bottom?
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
You didn't?
No.
So all I recognised was that they were in shorts, so I guessed it was. But what did I say? All I said was I think it was 5 o'clock, because it was only a couple of hours walk. So I said, oh, so will you be, staying here tonight? To which they said, no, we'll be finding someone. And I was absolutely amazed that at 5 o'clock, and I know people don't go to bed at 5, 6 o'clock, but I said, really?
Yeah, but you think it's the end of the day.
Yeah, I just think about when we were on the canal. We knew where we wanted to moor up.
And all the good spots were gone by 2.
Oh yeah, very early in the day. I know it's different with the motorhome, but I was surprised that at 5 o'clock they were very laid back, that they had, in their own words, absolutely no idea where they were going to be spending the night. Yeah. But they said, oh, well, we'll find somewhere. Yeah. It might be a site, it might be a pub that will ring and stay in their car park.
So it seemed like that isn't obviously a tried and tested method.
Yeah, but I mean, cutting a long story short, because we must have talked to them for 20 minutes, because we in the future hopefully are motorhomers, but it was interesting to talk to them, to understand how laid back they were. They were really encouraging us to
do it now.
Yeah, to do it now while you can.
Because they were having to rush back for a hospital appointment, weren't they? So
yeah. As I say, the whole laid-back attitude, I don't know if everybody's got that lives that lifestyle, because they're not, is it van life people call it now? They go home, they have a house, but they're out and about, going for walks, visiting places, enjoying motorhoming, which is obviously something I hope we can do.
And I think it was important to hear them say that about being so loosey-goosey about it, because we've done a bit of motorhoming, and we did put a schedule on ourselves, didn't we? Because we'd booked sites, and that getting that bit of equipment across Wales or whatever we did in time to so they were just like, no, you're self-sufficient. You've got your cooker, you've got your shower, what's the worst that can happen? Yeah. Those were literally her words to me, and I suppose that's...
But as I say, it was very interesting that whilst they were polite enough when we saw them at the, end of the Birdale Tunnel, when we chatted to them, they were uber friendly.
Yeah.
Because we engaged, we showed a bit of interest, and they were almost encouraging us to there and then get sorted. But anyway, so I believe in this thing that you meet and chat to people for a reason, and
But it, again, talking about things happening for a reason or whatever, that's the second lot of people to have said to us, "Do it now, do it while you can."
Yeah.
In the past month.
Yeah.
So
you're recounting the.
What does that?
Well, actually, it's on a walk, isn't it? So we can touch on that later, because it was quite profound, wasn't it?
Because there was a misunderstanding at first.
There was, yeah, absolutely. So, great stuff. So, there we go. Wharram Percy. Review. Fantastic. Really enjoyed it.